Hello, today I'm going to look at Sid Meier's Pirates, and this is the original box art and gameplay from 1987 when it was released for the first time, but I'm going to look at the 2004 version that is available on Steam. So let's start a new game and look at the intro. So here we are with the family, all happy times. Into the villa. So the Marquis is the main enemy in the game, and he just escaped his grasp as a kid. So now we're all grown up and ready to take revenge. So the first thing we need to do is select which faction we want to be a part of, and our name and our skill set and the difficulty level we want to play. You can also pick a start date, and the scenario will be different depending on what date you pick. We're just gonna pick Journeyman and skill at fencing, because fencing is very useful, because it will decide the battle of when you're board a ship. If you throw the enemy captain overboard in a fencing match, you win instantly. So I'm gonna pick the English faction, but you can also pick the Dutch or the Spanish or the French. So now I'm part of the English crew, heading to the Caribbean. And apparently the captain is not too friendly. Setting the scene for a mutiny. So this is how we get our first ship, to be ready to be the scourge of the Caribbean. So you start out with a slope, which is one of the small but agile ship classes with a decent amount of guns. So this is an English ship, so I don't want to attack that. because it's part of our faction. Going to dock at Nevis. This is a little outpost with a 3,400 population. So I'm entering the tavern here just to find out what's going on. So she's telling me there's a skilled surgeon aboard a ship. These are characters that you can pick up and they will help you. They'll increase your attributes in some way in your crew. I'm hiring some more pirates. Yeah, I don't have I can't afford this one-shot pistol. As you can see, the graphics are still okay, even for today. Even though this game came out in 2004. It's also on iPad. There's nothing else to do there. So this is where you can see what you have in your cargo hold. And your fleet status. You can rename your ship if you want. And you can check how much money you have and wealth and land and stuff like that you have been awarded. Let's go talk to the governor. He sounds drunk. He probably is. So I get a letter of marque. Then that makes me a privateer, meaning that I can legally engage the vessels that England is at war with. In this case, right now it's the French and the Spanish. So we'll go out and see if we can take over some French or Spanish ships. The controls are very simple. You control everything with a numpad. As you can see, there's a visual representation of the numpad in the bottom right corner. So that's how I'm steering my ship now. And if I press 5, I can attack a nearby ship. And most of the time you're controlling everything with a numpad. And in the menus you can use the mouse as well. The graphics are still decent enough. And the gameplay is an open world, so you sail around the Caribbean and do stuff. You can do stuff like attacking other ships, or you can attack settlements, and then there's a land battle. Or you can go treasure hunting, and you can move out of your ship and walk around on the map and look for treasure. They'll sell you treasure maps in the tavern. There are also 9 historical pirates in the game that you can find and attack. Like Blackbeard, for example. So this is the ship battle. So I'm trying to hit the other ship with my cannons. There are different kind of shots. You can see I have right now I'm firing round shot, which is a standard shot. There's also a grape shot and chain shot. Chain shot is to disable the sails of the enemy ship. Grape shot is trying to kill the crew. So here I'm selecting what sword to use in the boarding action, where I'll participate in a fencing match with the other captain. So here we go. Fencing is not that hard on journeyman level. Basically you attack either in the top or middle or bottom position, or you can parry in the top, middle or bottom position, or you can taunt. So here I have the upper hand and throws the other captain overboard. And that immediately ends the boarding action and I win. If the fencing match draws out over a longer period of time, it'll come down to how many crew members you have and they have and so forth. And you'll lose a lot more crew if you don't win the fencing match quickly. So now I keep the other ship, because I kept all of its cargo as well. I don't think I could fit all the cargo into my own ship. I can also sell the other ship, but you have to have enough crew to be able to man the ship that you captured. So here I'm immediately attacking another ship, a French bark. So depending on the wind direction, it's going to be harder for me to turn or to get speed. So you see I'm sailing in a direction where I didn't get much wind, and the ship's very slow then. I'm basically just trying to board the other ship, because they don't have they're not that dangerous. And they give up immediately. Hire 9 sailors from the enemy crew. Take all of the cargo and keep the ship. And here's a French pirate hunter coming straight out for me. And now I've spread my crew thin, because I have 2 captured ships also. So my main crew is not that big. I tried to outrun it, but I couldn't, so I turned around and engaged. So you can see I have 12 guns, 39 crew, and they have 16 guns and 88 crew, which means I'm not going to be too happy to board them right now. And they just hit me with a cannon salvo. So I hit back and I try to put some distance and see if I can just run away. So this becomes a bit of a drawn out battle. Because we're both in sloops, it's hard for me to run away, because the French ship is just as quick as I am. Probably quicker, because I have a very low number of crew members at this point in time, because my remaining crew is on the other 2 ships that I captured. So yeah, I'm just trying to run away and turn around and take a pot shot at them, see if I can hit them. Turn around again. So the main story of the game is you have to find your family that were kidnapped in the beginning, in the intro. And you're trying to amass as much wealth as possible and land, and you can marry daughters of governors, depending on what rank you have. You can marry, I guess, prettier governors' daughters. And then you'll receive a high score. And at any point in the game, you can divide the plunder, and that'll be your score, or go into your final score. If you die before you divide the plunder, I don't think it counts into your total score. And then you try to get better and better ships. Eventually you end up in a frigate or a galleon. You can also trade. The prices differs from the different ports. So if for example, an English settlement is hit by pirates a lot and close to the war, it'll probably pay more for cannons and so forth. But this is a game mostly centered around combat. When you attack some of the larger ships, like a frigate or something like that, you might just want to try not to fight it with the cannons and just board it instantly, and then win the fencing match instead. Because if it hits you a couple of times, it might sink your ship or cripple your ship. If you hit a ship enough times, it'll either sink or it'll be crippled, and it'll not move at all. You can use the chain shot to hit the sails, and it'll be crippled. So here I just escape. I'm going to go to the port, back to Nevis, and sell the 2 captured ships that I have. So there's an English frigate with a military payroll, meaning it's got a lot of money, but of course we're not going to attack that. So I sell everything. You can see that it kept the food. You have to keep some food with you at all times, depending on the size of your crew, because when you're sailing and time passes, they eat some of the food. So I'm going to sell off both my captured ships here. I could also have kept one of them, just for hauling around cargo that I captured. We'll head back out into the Caribbean and see if we can find another French ship. So now that I'm back to full health and full crew and everything, I'm just going to take this French sloop. Not doing a good job at hitting it. I'm using the grape shot because I want to kill some crew, because I just want to board it. So I missed it. Trying to board it, and now we're just sort of circling around each other for a while. So you can see when I hit it with the grape shot, a couple of guys fell into the water and are swimming around. So he's down to 31 crew now, and I have 57, so this is going to be very easy. I picked the rapier because it's a fast sword. And that's an easy win. So we'll celebrate with rum. So I'll head back to Nevis and sell the captured ship and see if it's time for a promotion. Because if you assist your faction, in this case the English, in the war in the Caribbean, you can earn promotions and land. So I can't sell this yet, I need to sell some of my cargo that I captured first. There we go. The 9 tons of cargo that I didn't sell is excess food, so I need to go and sell that as well. I don't need quite as much food as I have. If I had a bigger fleet, I probably would need it, but I only have one ship. And it's a small ship. So let's go talk to the governor about the promotion. He still sounds drunk. So now I'm promoted to captain with the English. And crew recruiting is easier in English ports. And I get 50 acres of estate, which is land. And the governor's rather plain daughter enters the room and invites me to the ball. Of course we'll go to the ball. So here we are at the ball. It's a mini game. You have to dance with the governor's daughter. And as you can see, the numpad either it flashes either left or right, and you have to press the key that flashes. And you can see I missed it a lot. So he stumbles, but now I'm starting to pick it up. And this is easier with the less attractive daughters apparently. So just press the key that flashes. And then we dance perfectly. So you can pick up Sid Meier's Pirates on Steam, the 2004 edition, and I'm playing here on PC. And it's well worth picking up because it's still a fun game. And it's open world, and you can do whatever you want in it. So now, because I was such a nice dancer, she's giving me some information on where to find Mr. Chatterley. He has a 1,000 gold reward on him. You can also marry governor's daughters if you have a high enough rank and dance well enough. So let's check my personal stats. You can see that now in my wealth it says land 50 acres, and my new rank is captain and romance. So So now she tells me there's a skilled navigator on board the Blanco sailing to St. Kitts, and it shows the map so I can see where it is. So that's a little bit north of where I am. I have some more here. So let's go see if we can find this navigator, because he's a nice guy. He'll make it my ship sail faster. And who doesn't want the ships to sail faster? There's a French smuggler. It's a French sloop called Blanco, so that's the one I'm looking for, and I'll attack it. Yeah, he's not much of a threat to me. So I'm just going to board the ship and start the fencing. You can see that when I miss a swing, then I'm stunned for a brief period of time. So now I have the upper hand again. And into the ocean he goes. So now I pick up this navigator. He doesn't have much of a choice. And 5 sailors offers to join me. So basically this is what you do in Sid Meier's Pirates. It's a lot of fun, and I encourage you to try it if you haven't already. And if you would rather play it on iPad, I think that works fine as well. And it's easy to pick up and get into, and it'll be very engaging actually, trying to get a good high score before you divide the plunder and get the bigger ships and marry the prettier daughters, I guess, and to find your family and find the different treasures. And to rise in rank. Yeah, so he says I'm not that far off of making major. But anyway, this is a quick look at the Sid Meier's Pirates. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can consider picking it up if you think it looks interesting. Talk to you guys later.